Paltrocast.
Dylan, how's your day going aside from answering the same questions over and over and over again?
It's good. It's good. It's great. I'm happy to be here talking about the movie.
Sure, you play a very interesting character in this film, Dennis. How much is there of Dennis in Dylan the human being?
Ooh. Uh, I think that growing up, I wanted everyone to get along. I kind of wanted everything to be good and cohesive, and that kind of feels like how Dennis approaches life. I think that he gets himself in a little more precarious situations than I did. Fortunately, I didn't go down the criminal path. But yeah, I think that he really has this pure heart that he leads with, that gets himself into some pretty difficult situations.
You didn't go down the criminal path, but you've been working so much that you have played the troublemaker just a few times in
Sure.
your filmography. So when you have that kind of a role, is there directly an inspiration that you follow or take, or is it just a good script is a good script and or a Meisner method is a Meisner method?
Um, yeah, I think a lot lies in the script. I think that I'm trying more to think about the story as a whole and what the story needs, not just what I want to do with the character. And I think that there's a balance to that. You don't want to just make an interesting choice for the sake of an interesting choice. You want to make an interesting choice for the sake of the film. So I think finding that balance and finding interesting things to kind of imbue in the characters. But yeah, I think that it honestly, my approach changes depending on the project. I feel like there's not one method that I go about. It just kind of what works on the day.
Got it. Christopher said I was allowed to call him Chris, so those are the rules officially.
Yeah.
He mentioned having to do a lot of research or wanting to do a lot of research related to the 92 riots, even though, this is historical fiction. Did you have to do a lot of research for the role?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you want to know where your character's at that moment in time and history. But I think for me, I tried to focus on the relationships that we had within the family dynamic, and obviously you want to figure out historical events that happened leading up to April 29th, 1992.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was a combination of figuring out kind of where I was in that time, but then also really focusing on the family relationship as well.
Well said. Now, April, 92, tragic situation that we've learned a lot from,
Yeah.
but, sometimes you have to look at the positives, and it inspired a lot of great music. If you look at Ice Cube, the West Coast hip hop, Sublime, etc., did you dig into any of that as a result of this?
Oh, sure. I mean, I feel like I listened to that kind of stuff before this. But yeah, when I was working on this movie, it was definitely great to have that old school hip hop kind of bumping in the background as I was reading the script.
Cool. So this is yet another film with one name or project with one name that you've been part of that's looking to be successful. I mean, there was Oppenheimer and you, etc. Halloween. Are you aware of that you are in so many single titled projects?
It's an interesting anecdote. No, I have not thought about that. I'm in single titled, but I will now.
How did you wind up in this one? Because the first time, yes, you've been working nonstop, but the first time I really noticed you was the show You, such a central part that you had right there. And I'm assuming that this film was made before you filmed on You.
No, it was filmed. It was after. Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
I actually did this right after, or a couple months after I wrapped You.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Both wise beyond their years kinds of characters.
a little bit. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
So was this one a traditional audition, or had a producer or director seen your work and went, "That's the dude"?
No, I auditioned. I did a self tape. I got the audition and worked on it and sent it in, and then I got cast off of the tape, which doesn't happen too often, but when it does, very grateful for that. But yeah, honestly, this was one when I got the audition. I remember feeling like I could do a lot with the character, and the character just kind of jumped off the page to me. So I know I had fun doing it, which is all you can kind of do, and then what comes comes. So but I'm really glad that I got to be a part of it.
These days, when you self-tape, is it over Zoom?
It depends. Sometimes there's Zoom auditions, and the casting director is on the other end, and then but a lot of the time you just kind of tape on your phone, and you have someone read the scene with you.
Mhm.
I always love having that kind of human interaction, but I guess
Right.
there is something to being able to work on it as much as you want, and then send it in.
Cool. So 1992 for us, new film. For you, you know that it was done a couple of years ago, and filmmaking is just a slow, painful process on that end. But are we allowed to know where we're going to see you next, or what we're going to see you in next?
I'm on a Apple show called Lady in the Lake that's out right now, so go check that out, and then yeah, watch 1992.
Long term, are there more facets to your career that we're not really aware of? IMDb shows a producer credit for you, but is that a long term part of the game?
Uh, it's not a conscious thing, but I'm definitely interested in it. I'm interested in writing and directing and producing. I hadn't produced anything before, and I actually really enjoyed that process. So, yeah, I love filmmaking. I love this industry, so I would want to do as much as I could within it.
Is there a singer songwriter career as well?
No.
I have to ask that because these days, like this crop of budding career actor, everyone seems to be a triple threat. So, am I confirming you're not a triple threat?
I'm only a double threat.
You dance?
I can.
So, is that the part that makes you the double threat, the dancing and
I
acting?
can half dance and half sing, so together that's a single threat.
But I think after watching the Olympics and seeing some of the people that got into the break dancing, do you feel like a lot of people are going to call themselves dancers but not be able to dance?
Um, I don't know. I think that you don't have to know how to dance to feel like a dancer.
Best answer I've heard all day. Well, last question I have for you before I let you go. Dylan, all we really know about you is great acting credits. What is the main passion away from all that when you're not busy with prep or being on set?
Ooh, you mean away from acting? Aside from acting, what is my passion?
Yeah, because I would have to assume when you start acting, it's all about the acting. And then once you start working a lot, you go, what can I do that is the exact opposite
Oh,
of waiting
sure.
around in the trailer?
I love playing baseball. I love rock climbing. Those are two things that I really enjoy.
Wow. So Brooklyn Boulders membership, do you have one of those kinds of
Uh,
scaling?
I'm in LA, so I go to the Boulders gym out here. Yeah,
Good to know. Good
it's
taste.
great.
Well,
It's fun.
congrats on 1992. We're really looking forward to whatever's coming next for me in the near future.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Paltrocast.